Hello, good people. Welcome once again. This is the lies they tell us. Your host is Biko. Welcome to another episode, people. Shout out to everyone, following through, actually checking out the content, commenting, and shout out to everyone that's engaging, because I am asking how are people actually receiving the information and what do you want to speak about. I'm all ears because we have 2 ears, one mouth, and I'm going through a process of learning how to be a better speaker, because there's some things that I know, but I should be able to make sure that they're heard the right way, because it's not just about how I say things. Because I did mention that being a better speaker starts with how you actually learn how to listen, going forward. So, yeah, guys, in this video, we're going to be speaking about the soul and the spirit, guys, because there's a difference. There's a lot of us who don't know what the spirit is and what the soul is, So, in this video, we're going to be breaking it down in terms of how do you know exactly if someone is spiritual and if they're not, and these kind of things going forward, and what is a soul actually, yeah. So just tune in and just comment, like, subscribe if there's anything you want to know, or if you want to keep on knowing the information that's really out there. So if you don't really know about what's really happening on this page is all about the truth. I'm not necessarily speaking on opinion because I don't speak an opinion. I'm talking about things that I experience and things that I've known, that I've researched myself. So if there's anything you don't feel comfortable with me speaking about, don't be afraid to ask me, because I do my own research and I can back it up. I can account for everything I'm saying here. So if I do use any other people's content or words, it's because I say that it's useful and I actually know I actually want to make sure that you do have it for reference. So cool, guys. So let me start with the soul, guys. So in previous videos, I spoke about how we have a mind, we have a body, we have a soul, right? So lately in these videos, I've only told you about your physical part of you, or only talk about the mental part of you. Okay, excuse me. So now we're going to speak about the soul. So the soul, guys, it's your individual part of you. It's the aspect of yourself that's not necessarily physical, but is made up of your particular preferences, your skills, your individuality, your likes, your interests. That's your soul. Your soul is the part of you that basically makes up your character. So we can't really touch someone's character. We can't really touch someone's preference or taste, or. So that's the part of you. That's what we call the soul, guys. So in our own individual experience, as a human, we will all have our unique individual styles or ways of doing things. So that's literally the individual, inside, the body, the mind, and the soul, inside your whole being. Then spirit, it's the part of you that is deep inside the soul. This is what actually connects you to God. That's what connects you to the spiritual realms, connects you to the higher consciousness, to the creators, to your ancestors, to all the other living beings that exist in other realms that are not just physically limited. So the spirit it's on a different dimension than the soul, because the spirit is on a high frequency. It's never it's never dirty. It's always pure. It's never misguided. It knows. Each and all of us have a spirit. It's deep inside of our soul. So a spirit is the part of you that knows that there's no mistake, that always knows that always will guide you. And it also gives you inspiration. It also gives you help. It's basically your tool. It's basically more of like your compass, in a way, that always leads you to the right places. Because it is a guide. Because some people, what happens is that they choose not to listen to that inner voice, because we do have influences, but the spirit is the internal influence that you need to listen to. Although it's not easy, because there's a lot of other voices out there. Because as we grow up, as we learn, we always always say the things that have affected us the most. We always hear people's voices the most. And we need to be able to identify the difference. Is it coming from an influence or an experience, or from a person, or from the actual spiritual realm, where there you find your guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your elders, your angels, all those things. That's the particular dimension of the spirit. So yeah, guys. So basically, in the soul, guys, it's important to do, like, personal work, because the soul is the only thing that you have that is really you. It's something that's only specific and can only be defined by your own experiences, your own perspectives, and your own way of seeing things and approaching things. So the majority of what makes up the soul is people's past experiences, whether it be in this particular lifetime or in a particular other lifetime, because in the actual natural world, right, in nature, nothing ever dies. It's only just cycles and cycles and cycles. It's only a refining process of you just getting better and improving. So a lot of these things, the individual soul, there's some things that they haven't processed. That's why things keep on repeating themselves until you've gotten the lesson, or you've gotten to a point where you've learned and you've improved your quality of being. Because quality is not just based on what you can see and touch, but in a state of being that you can actually become in. So yes, guys, so your soul is just mainly about past things that you've experienced that you haven't really healed from, that you haven't really properly dealt with, because there are some lessons that we all have to learn to improve and be able to grow. So that's when someone says that they're on a soul journey, they're on a soul path, is when they're really finding who they really are, the individual. And once they really know who they are, then they can start going to the spiritual realm, which is another different frequency altogether. It's different. It has different set of rules. It's not just anyone that can just wake up. Yes, you have it deep within us. Some are naturally given, because we all have different life paths, we all have different purposes in life. So that's why when other people who in this world, right, I don't like to maybe like blame other people or pick other people's things, right? But these outside influences are trying to help guide to the real source of life. So what other people, they tell you based on their own experiences of what you should do, how it should be done, and why. Because us as individuals, we all are drawn, we all are attracted or repelled by certain things. So knowing which one is good and what is right for you. So yeah, so knowing exactly who you are, what you need to deal with particularly, helps you elevate and get you to a higher state of being, get you more in tune with your spirit. So there are some things that will always make you easily, tune into that frequency of divine oneness, unity, peace, happiness, joy, all the great qualities that you can never experience in life, that you can never really just get randomly like that. It takes genuine honesty. It takes awareness to be able to reach a state. And yeah, happiness is a real thing. Happiness is not a 2 minute thing. Nah. It's not like these things that you always need to have this and that and that. Because remember, man, in feelings, right? There are feelings, right? And there are actual aspects and essence of being that exist. So not all feelings are the same, but feelings is a particular guide, that kind of helps you, right? Because feelings can actually make you navigate through an experience. So feelings are more closer to the heart. The heart is where feelings mostly happen, because now we're speaking about the soul, right? Not only speaking about the mind, because in other videos we speak about the mind, ideas, thoughts. But obviously, holistically, you need to be able to find a way to link these things all together. But now, when you're speaking about the soul, it's more about the feeling and the heart. So when you feel the heart where it's at, it actually can guide you towards a better place or worse place, or where you is. Because what happens is that on a soul level, we connect with people differently. That's why you feel differently about people, even though they're not, good people, for example. That's because maybe there's a connection that you have with particular individuals. So not all connection that are soul one connections are always spiritual. Now, spirituality is on a higher degree. you know Therefore, it's more closer to God, the divine being of all, the almighty, the presence, the order, the divine order. So the soul is more of a community of people that just relate because of the strong connections they have within themselves. So therefore you can have connections and feel close with like family, but like spiritually speaking, they can literally deter you or move you away from that force. So that's the difference between soul and spirit. So in your own soul, right? finding your own soul and doing soul searching and finding who you is, there are some things that you need to unearth. There are some things you need to really go deep within and actually like cleanse them out, heal from them, or learn from them. Because in life, in most experiences, because it is like a growing process. There are some things that you need to make you grow, or some things that you need to let go, or there's just some things that are meant to actually make you learn. So you either learn, grow, or let go. That's the main things of any experience. So now I know we're getting deep, so just hopefully you staying with me, you staying focused. So if there's any questions, don't forget to comment. You can actually put a time tag to actually make me realize which question you actually wanted to ask, or which point did you want clarity from. So feelings, guys. Now, when it comes to spirituality, now not just soul, because soul is obviously the connection you have with other people and level of compassion and empathy. But like spirituality is more of inspiration, more of freedom, more of like a different level of creativity and expression. That's why the things that are made have a different level of quality. So spirit has to do more with a high level of intensity and degree, where it's like this person, yes, you can actually feel that. You feel inspired just being around them. You feel great, you feel healed, you don't have a heavy weight on you. That's when you know someone is spiritual. Because they don't feel a heavy weight, you don't feel stress, you just feel lighter, you just feel happier, you feel peace, you feel joy. All those things, those are the kind of qualities that you actually can recognize that this is spiritual. So yeah. So on the soul level, it's more about just connections and relating with other people and empathizing with it, right? So there's some connections that you can have with people that don't necessarily build you. They don't build you. You're just there because maybe you have to, because of a situation, or it's because maybe you guys are going through the same stage of learning and growing. Because what happens is that growing up, right? We were all put in a class, right? So just like how in life, we all have to go through certain stages of development and growth. So just because you feel the same way with other people does not mean you're supposed to be there forever. Either there's something you need to learn from, or there's some things you guys need to let go, or there's something you actually need to grow out of, because it's all a process. So not all feelings of feeling connected with people is love, guys. So love is a spiritual thing, happiness is a spiritual thing, peace is a spiritual thing, joy is a spiritual thing. It's not a soul thing. So that's why with soul, it's more of just finding solace and relating with other people. It's more about relationships. So find a relationship with yourself and realize, okay, what is it that makes you connect with these people? So yes, there are people who are just genuinely good-hearted people, who understand with other people. Doesn't mean that they're bad. It's just that they're at a different level of their development. So though you don't judge. If you're a spiritual person, you never judge. Because judging is an aspect of you always saying that there's a mistake or these things is bad, and therefore you look down on other people. And whenever when you condescend other people and you actually wanna put yourself up, that means you're prideful or you have an ego and you wanna benefit from that. So other people benefit wrongly from other people's misbehaviors or actions. Because at the end of the day, spiritual people are meant to help, are meant to heal, are meant to teach. So either if you're a spiritual person, you either teach, you either heal, or you either you either teach, heal, or grow or development. That's the aspects of spirituality and soul. So don't get it confused. Just because you relate with people does not mean it's love, guys. Nah, it doesn't happen that way. It's that connection, and that's a low level of vibration of love. It's more of understanding more than love. Just because you relate with each other does not mean there's love. So learning how to distinguish between those differences will help you a whole lot, guys. And in this video, this is what I want you to realize the most, guys, is that we are all a mind, body, and soul, right? But we have a spirit within us, and that spirit inside there is at the same quality as God, right? Because that's where we'll always find the truth. That's where we'll always find growth. That's where we'll always find development. It's at the center. Think of it as like a heavy spark. Think of it as like a heavy spark that's there, that's always shining bright. Therefore, when you always need God, you can always go inside of you, because you have a particular connection with God, and you always met with other elders, other ancestors, other angels, other spiritual beings who are of a higher frequency, who actually genuinely love, not because they're gonna get something or not because they're in the same situation, but they genuinely want to help. They want to help, either make you develop, either make you learn, or either make you grow. Or either make you actually heal, because healing is a thing. So yes, guys. So always remember that just because you relate with people on a particular level does not mean it's love, guys. Love, I think I'm gonna have a whole video on love, guys, because love is not what we see on TV. That's romanticism. That's romantics. That's all these other energies. There's a difference between romantic and actual love. So the kind of relationship you have with people is different. So it's time to be honest with ourselves, guys. So being honest with ourselves requires a certain level of maturity. So the reason why not everyone is at the same stage, even though we all have a mind, body, and soul, is because not everyone is willing to mature enough to realize that they need to heal themselves, or they need to learn from themselves, or they actually need to grow. So it's maturity. Everyone has to grow on their own stage, right? Because it's like seeds and planting in nature. You can plant certain seeds at the same time, but not all of them will show the same level of progress. This is just at a very, like, that's something I've learned from myself, from my own experience. Like, there's some seeds I planted all at the same time, I watered all of them the same way, but not all of them will grow the same way. That's when like nature, that's how you know the soul of a person. So knowing how to go deep to know the soul of a person, making them find their own spirit, their own guide, making them connect with their own, spiritual guides, making them feel inspired. Because everything, people who are spiritual, things will always go easier. Things are not meant to be heavy, guys. There's no suffering when you're spiritual. That's, if you are suffering, then there's some aspect of yourself you still need to polish up. Obviously, just like in any test, right? Like, you only learn, if just like any test, if you don't have 100 on that test, right? If, let's say, if you get 99, for example, that 1 mark, you need to focus on that 1 mark. Not that you have other 99, why are you still now? It's because that particular thing will actually allow you to be whole, because there's different aspects of you. So if you see you're a spiritual person, but physically and mentally, and societally, there's still certain challenges you're going through, and you're not helping, healing, or inspiring through your actions, through your behaviors, then you're not growing, or you're not mature enough to actually say you are in the spiritual realm, guys. Because spiritual realm, trust me, things happen quick, and it's because now the rules of time don't always apply the same way now. And so this is why some people would call these things miracles, or would call these things like, will be in amazement, because they're not used to things happening fast. Because in nature already, in the physical, in the mental, right, there's already a process of how things happen. So now when you're spiritual, the process doesn't go the same way as it's supposed to, because already you are in a holistic place where now everything is in alignment. And so that's why you always see proof, you always see evidence, you link up with the right people at the right time. You'll always, like, be in the same space that you need to be, and you always get the things that you need to get. So I hope I broke down the information, about what is the soul, what is the spirit, and how to connect with God, the real God inside of you, not anything outside of you, because everyone is here to learn and grow and develop and heal. So if you're not growing, developing, and healing, you're simply a distraction. And fix your behaviors, fix your habits, and focus on yourself, guys, because that's where the temple of God is within. That's where you can find yourself, your real self, not what you were told. Because remember, and we were told that, that's obviously everything you were told. That's why you need to fix your soul. You need to do some soul searching to find out, who are you really? What do you like? What are your interests? What are those emotions? What are those experiences that hurt you? Because now you can't be ignoring those things, because those things did happen. And that's why you always keep on hurting people, because you haven't properly dealt with those things. So if you're also on a spiritual journey, on a soul searching journey, learn not to judge other people, because you have to judge yourself first before you can judge other people. Then you can learn of why they're doing certain things. So I'm still hoping that you're reading. On the Street Talk Mag, on the latest one, we did mention how hurt people hurt people. So only hurt people. If you're really spiritual, like, trust me, bro, everything is a cruise everywhere. Because there's no mistakes. You have patience, you have joy, you have peace, you have harmony. You have all those qualities that literally align you with all the spiritual guides, and you'll see proof. Literally, just chill, like, just chill. Once you get everything you want, everything literally just unravels right in front of you, you know. So yeah, guys. So in other videos, I'll talk also about the spiritual realm in detail. But now I just wanted to just verify and make you aware about soul and spirit, guys. So yeah, shout out for checking out the video. Tune in next time, bringing you all the facts, all the facts. Have a great day, everybody. Take control out.